What is going on, YouTube and y'all squad? This your boy Yocrates. This is your review for Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Season 3, Episode 4. It was cool. It was cool. I mean, like I said, that there were parts and whatnot, but it was cool. It was cool. All right, so it pretty much starts off with Candace, comparing soap operas to the Real Housewives and saying how they deserve an Emmy because it's literally the same exact thing except for the Housewives' lives are real. Those that decide to share it, Candace. And then they did a little, editing thing with the ladies, being kind of like phased into the background or phased through the background called Days of Our Wives. It was cute. There's breakfast. You have Leah, Heather, Alexia, and Marisol. They're talking about, their monthly friend. I know nothing about that, so I'm going to continue on. Leah is okay from, the day before. Alexia feels that Heather, uh, I'm sorry, the heavy convos between the Salt Lake City girls, probably is going to continue. Like, it's a lot there. Heather says she can compartmentalize things, but is still trying to understand Whitney's motives. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. By the end of this, I'm kind of questioning it too. I ain't gonna lie to you. Leah shares that Whitney told her to watch out for Heather, and Heather's kind of looking like, why would she say that? But on some real ish though, I mean, Leah. One, Leah's sharing it because hey, look, we're creating a show here, so I understand that. But based off of what Heather has shown us in these 4 episodes, sweetheart, you have given us more than enough as to not trust you and to give you a heavy, heavy side eye, and I do mean heavy. Where am I at in my news? So Portia was going, to have almost like an excursion, outdoor activities, but the weather's a little shaky bakey, shaky achy. So they're gonna have Thai massages and then do some games. Um, Look, with the massages, I don't know who's gonna turn down a massage. I'm just saying. Like, I had a sports massage one time. Oh my lord, that thing was beautiful. I enjoyed that thing thoroughly. I really did. I was so afterwards, but she told me like, oh yeah, because she asked me like, do you stretch? I'm like, no. She was like, yeah, because your body telling you. And I'm looking at her like, well then, why the hell would you ask me if you do the answer? But it was good though. It was for my birthday. I enjoyed it. It was beautiful. I done got all sidetracked. Hold on, where am I about those? Hold on, I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah, she says it's team building game. So Lisa Barlow calls Whitney, and Whitney downloads her. And what happens? Whitney shares that Heather brought her in to the show. So she's sharing this with us. Brought her into the show. So because she brought her into Salt Lake City, it's almost like I have this undying loyalty to her, but it's realizing that she doesn't need to have it. I don't really know how. Yeah, like undying loyalty, not necessarily, but respect the fact that what, cool, you brought me in. I'm not going to go out of my way to do you dirty. Hell no. If it happens, it happens. But I'm not going out of my way. No. But at the same exact time, real talk, I really do believe that Whitney is doing whatever she can to secure the bag because her livelihood is at stake. I get it, I understand it, but it's not just right. And I'm gonna just leave that where it's at. I need to keep my hands on my paper so I remember where I'm at. So Portia tries to pour into Heather, with everything that was going on. And brings up that Whitney's journey out of Mormonism took 15 years. So where are you at on your journey, like from being removed? Heather says she hasn't filed the paperwork, but her money isn't in it, her time isn't in it, her heart isn't in it. So it's just a database. And Portia looking at her just like, so you did all this hooping and hollering yesterday, and you ain't made no attempts to actively remove yourself. Now look, I don't agree with Portia on much, but hey, because Portia says in her interview, Heather is a bad liar, not a bad Mormon. I hollered. Okay, y'all know I don't like Portia, but look, if she gives me a moment, she gives me a moment. Um, so right, because she was saying you're a bad liar, not a bad Mormon, because the list mattered yesterday, but not so much today. Whitney says, she has a lot of clarity and now just needs to say it. Right. Pepsi brought Portia KFC for brunch. I guess he didn't figure it out. This is what she like and this is what I'm gonna bring. I ain't mad. I ain't mad at all. Leah is in her confessional and says vibing with like she isn't vibing with anyone but Candace and feels like a majority of the women are just following behind others because maybe they're celebrity, maybe because they're scared of them, but that's not her, and she's glad that Candace stuck up for her, which is cool. But I just need for Candace to be cognizant of who she's sticking up for and understand that the same people you stick up for may not stick up for you. Because when I used to work at, Target back, I was there, 2007, 2008, is before I joined the military. I'm pretty sure y'all know I've always been outspoken. If y'all hear Rylan, that is my dog. She is scratching herself in her cage. But I'm very outspoken. I see something that's where I'm going to say something. We would have team huddles, and I would end up vocalizing what everybody have been pretty much saying as a group, but nobody else wanted to say it. I learned then to kind of taper that. Like, let me not sit here and speak for the group, but I've always been one for the underdog. And the funny thing is, yeah, I'm saying everything that everybody thinking, but when raise time come, yeah, conveniently, y'all wasn't getting no raise, but everybody else who sat there like a church mouse was getting theirs. So, even in my military career, I was still fighting for the underdog. I had to be, aware of when, why, and how, and ask myself, is it really worth me doing it? You feel me? Because if it's my soldiers, yes. If it's just a rando, I don't know. We gonna have to see. But Candace needs to understand that just because you stick up for somebody, it don't mean they gonna have your back. I'm just saying. But do you, boo boo? But I also want to say, I wish we can go back to confessionals because right now we only have interviews, and that's when they get dolled up and they shoot these scenes where they're being asked these questions. Those are interviews. Confessionals are very spur of the moment. If y'all go back to season 1 of Atlanta, they will pretty much have like on scene confession. Like once like a scene or an event is over, they'll get one or two of the ladies and film them right there in the moment. Everything is raw and genuine. Not they've had time to think about what has happened, and now they've seen this scene over and giving a perspective based off of what they endured the whole season, right? So there's a Thai massage, is outdoors. Portia wants to be naked. Okay. There's a lot of moaning, a whole lot of moaning. I wasn't mad. Again, if y'all had a good deep tissue massage, y'all know what it is, all right? Pepsi is walking the premises. I'm like, you ain't slick, Pepsi. Candace wants to know if this is a brothel or a bathhouse because of all the noises being made. Um, Heather talks to the Miami girls about going to the prayer house because she kind of wants to get some stuff off. Alessia has mentioned that Marisol had pretty much left a drink at the prayer house and then doubled right back and took it. I'm like, Marisol. But okay, I'm gonna I ain't even gonna judge it. One of the massage ladies though in the phase like somewhat remind me of Katie Ross from Potomac. I just want to put that out there because it was in my notes. After the massages, Giselle is encouraging Heather to call Jen because she's been texting her, wanting to get it on camera. Jen wasn't finna fall for that. So now it's lunchtime. It's a self-serve barbecue, and some of the ladies felt away. I don't really know why. Like I know when I was in Korea, I forget the exact name, but they had pretty much like a Korean barbecue where you would have your cuts of meat, your lettuce, some toppings, and all this other stuff, and you just go at it. Like And some of them complain about, like, man, if y'all don't sit here and embrace what is there. Now, I will say, with the Thai barbecue, and I guess they had to kind of like cook it in lard. So, yeah, that definitely was a no go for Miss Leah. So, Candace, with her napkin, triangularly folded, wants to talk to Portia and brings up the season 5 fight and says the fight didn't tear her up or didn't tear her apart, but it was the aftermath, and said to her, you said I was suing her for a down payment on my house, which was hurtful because I didn't know you and you didn't know me either. So Portia replies she was there for a friend because she had been in altercations before. We had a conversation on how to navigate the situation. With that, that did mean that you needed to bring that to your little Bravo chat room show. You could have just kept that between the two of y'all. And we're not here to argue semantics over who was right, who was wrong in that fight situation, because that ain't the point of all of this. All right, praise the Lord. Um, so then Candace says it was messy and defamatory. Portia says it wasn't defamatory if these are her facts. Now look, y'all. It's facts and then it ain't facts. Now this may be her perspective of what happened, but again, her saying these are her facts. Portia is dumb, but she's not stupid. Portia knows what it is that she's saying, and she's formulating words in such a way that to convey a certain point. But Candace says those were not the facts. Giselle speaks up and says that she defended Candace, and in that same moment, which she did. But what you're hold on, wait, am I skipping ahead of my notes before I sit here and just yeah, I'm skipping ahead. I'm sorry. So Candace says Monique gave her statement through Portia, but nobody got hers. Giselle whole thing is, but I was defending you in the interview, and what Candace is trying to is a two part where Monique gave a statement to Portia, and Portia pretty much read. I didn't watch that, but I'm going based off of what they were saying. Either she read it or she alluded to the statement that she was given by her friend. Now, what Giselle was doing is Giselle never got a statement from Candace, but the whole thing is it was firsthand information. But this is all from the vantage point of Giselle, not necessarily what Candace went through and endured. And in addition to that, we all know just come on now. For all of us who remember season 5, we know the hand that Giselle played in all of this. So her defending Candace was only because she wanted Monique off the show. So yes, I'm going to defend Candace because I don't want this person on the show anymore with her 4 homes. Like, let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it all the way a buck. And on some real ish, I wish Candace would have said that. Like, I get Candace is trying to now, rock the boat too much. Man, bump that. I wish Candace would have just told her, you only defended me because you didn't want her on the show. So I was necessary to the plan. Like, okay, I don't know why I'm getting mad because this ain't me. I ain't getting paid for that. Anyway, and then Giselle says I was defending her at Whole Foods. I defended her on the show, and I defended her here and there. So obviously that isn't enough. So I'm through with her. Again, you're only defending her because what you needed to have, what ultimately ended up happening is what you wanted, because Monique sat here and blasted Jill then Boo on camera, which is why we don't see no relationship that you've been in, because you had egg all on your face. All right. And then we have this whole discussion over journalism degree or journalism job. Look now. Portia, you and Tamar, y'all gonna start with this whole y'all being journalists and whatnot. Okay, y'all do interviews. Okay, y'all give commentary on information. Okay, let's not do that. Let's not. All right. And Marisol says the chat room is a fluff opinion show. I hollered. I don't care how you look at it. It was shade. I was here for it. So now there's several games that Portia wants to play. One is them playing a pretty much volleyball in elephant costumes. They're broken up by teams of cities, but Portia's there by herself, Leah's there by herself, so they're going to be a team. And Portia decides to be shady and says, "Yeah, our team is, poor Leah." Leah, you better than me. Ain't no way you finna play in my face like that. Like, oh, we would have played the game. Oh, but I would have cussed you smooth the hell out before we got started. So then they play a game called Tiny Hands that I don't know. Oh no, it was the other one. It was the other one. Okay, but Tiny Hands, where one of your partner stands behind you, holding in their hands a pair of tiny hands. There's a plate of food in front of the other person, and the person behind them with the tiny hands has to feed them, and see who eats the most. Interesting. And then there's a game called Spew It or Chew It. Now this was shady and unfair, and I do mean shady. And the reason that I say, because you'll see why it's shady in a moment, but the reason that I say it's unfair because Portia is asking everybody a question, and it's called Spew It or Chew It, and either you tell the truth or you have to eat this scorpion, and it's a real scorpion, but they were told don't eat the tail because that's where the venom is. And the reason that it's unfair, because that's obviously shady, because you're going to hit the questions in a moment, but it's unfair because nobody got to ask Portia a question. So, let's see. Alexia, rank your husbands in bed. She says Ty, her children's father, and then Herman. Candace, would you marry, kill, or bang Monique? She says she would bang her to death. Play on words. Good job. Giselle, who here will make the least on OnlyFans? She obviously gave Giselle an easy one. And this is one of those where it doesn't make sense. It'll be different if Larsa Pippen was on the show, then that would make sense. That makes no sense for Giselle. But again, you're giving your bestie, your buddy, an easy question. And she says Marisol. Leah's asks, who shouldn't come back for season 13 spinoff of New York? Baby, when I tell you Leah so fast went and grabbed that the tray with the scorpions to eat it. Now, here's something that is interesting. Last time I checked, scorpions aren't kosher. And this is for those who follow, kosher law. Not every Jew follows kosher law, right? And she might be reformed. Again, I'm not judging her, but she made a statement about the barbecue and it being, the meat being cooked in pork fat, so she couldn't do it. So she probably ate fruit. So I'm just throwing that out there. Or she could be, one where she's very selective on what she eats. But I say all of that to say the fact that she was willing to, and she did eat the scorpion. The fact she was willing to do that says a lot. But she even said, I don't do firing. I don't do hiring. I don't do none of that. And the other part of it is politics. Because if she does this could keep her from getting back on the show, or because from what I've understood, they've scrapped the show, or it's just on hold. But at the same time, that could cause more trouble if she does come back, because again, on the actual show, they're never going to truly address what was said, but you're going to be treated a certain way. So Whitney is asked, name 3 times Heather lied on camera. Whitney says she wants to talk to Heather, but she don't want to be shady, so she goes for the scorpion. And Heather feels away because like, oh, so you can't come up with nothing, huh? I don't think that's it. I really do believe, to a certain extent, that she wants to have that conversation with her. Because it's one of those, like, do you care about the relationship? But at the same time, Whitney is a little shaky-bakey. So then Heather is asked, who gave you the black eye? She eats the scorpion. She know how she got the black eye. Marisol is asked, who in the group do you trust the least? She says Leah, because you already threw me under the bus several times. Alright, cool. So now Giselle, we find out, is doing the Mardi Gras dinner. Alessia and Marisol are in their room getting ready. Marisol is, in my opinion, trashing Pepsi, saying that, he hasn't cleaned her room. And Alexia's like, okay, that's not his job to clean our room. And Marisol, well, he has a staff and all of this other stuff. And it's okay, so you can clean up after yourself, even if that's that. You still clean up after yourself. One, two, your attitude is real stank. Three, it says a lot, and it really leads me down the road of how do you treat service staff? Because stuff like this gives me a bad taste. And if this is truly how you treat working class people or people in the service industry, trust me when I say, Marisol, oh, you will be humbled by life real quick if life has not already humbled you. All right. And Alexia is pretty much at her wits' end because she says that they vacationed before, but it's never been this bad. But I think it's because they're sharing a room. Giselle and Portia commiserate on the bus about Candace because it's like Candace is, supposed to have anxiety and all this other stuff, but she's coming for us and blah blah blah. I don't really care. I really don't, because in essence, it is a tag team with those two. And what's funny is Portia is filling in the role of Robin for Giselle. If y'all have caught it, let me know. So Giselle says Candace and herself. Okay, so I'm sorry. So Giselle brings up the whole her, Chris, and Candace thing, and saying because she said that I said this, and only giving partial truths to what was said. So now, because in that van bus, whatever, in the van was her, um, Portia and Marisol and Alexia. So in her telling it in a certain way, it's like, oh my gosh, that can ruin your reputation, and she's doing this, and it's y'all ain't watched the season. And then you have Giselle saying, oh, we'll talk about it. We're not gonna do it tonight, but we'll talk about it later. Translation, we'll talk about it when we get to the reunion. Because yeah, you don't want to talk about it on this show because you will get aired out. Okay. And you definitely got some at the reunion, though I felt she should have got more. Giselle is explaining her heritage. She shares that she will participate in the Zulu parade, which is an all-black parade. I guess they weren't able to participate in just the mass parades. And then it begins to rain during the dinner. So they had because it was drizzling first. They had umbrellas there, but then it started to actually rain. And I'm wondering, did you not check the forecast? And if you did you not say to them like, just have like a gazebo or something, like have some type of covering just in case, whatever. So they go inside and then they play a reasonably shady game. So here are the questions. I'm just going to say it, but it starts out, is it reasonable or is it shady? So first question, being extremely sick and spending time with a group geared towards Marisol, yeah, that was weak sauce. To take credit for other franchises' success, especially when your show was canceled. Now that was a little bit, that was shady, and that was geared towards Alexia. And Alexia says she stands by what the hell she said. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Next one, calling someone a bully when they are not being one. That one was geared towards Candace, and she says the way that y'all came at Leah, y'all were being a bully, which is cool. But Candace, I would have preferred had you really kept that on you. But I understood why she used that example. And Portia says, well, when you ask for an audience, don't be mad when you get one. But again, let's start at the beginning. Portia, sweetheart, you were the one that said when Pepsi was leaving, Leah, do you want to go too? You popped that off. But okay, how easily we forget. Let me see. All right, so showing your cheeks that are twice the size of everyone else. That was geared towards Portia. Again, Portia didn't give Giselle a hard one. Giselle not finna give her a hard one. Come on now. Oh, and also with the whole being a bully thing, Giselle popped that off. Candace got involved, or Candace obviously answered. Giselle didn't say nothing, because this is what Giselle does. When she ain't got nothing to say, she waits for her minion, because I was going to say something else, to jump in and do all the talking for her. I forgot to mention that. Let's see. So the next one is to give a book title you don't believe in. That was Heather. Whitney asked Heather, where is she in her journey of leaving the Mormon church, because it's been inconsistent. Everybody's upset because we heard about this for the umpteenth time. Let's table it, da 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 da. And my thing is, if y'all just let them have the full conversation, just let them have it, and then once it's done, it doesn't have to come back up again. And at the same time, I'm gonna keep it a buck. If I'm talking about something, you not finna tell me to table anything. You can get, gotta, okay, no, I don't want to curse. You can get up, walk away, and let me continue to talk, but you not finna hurt me. That's what you not gonna do. Alexia says when someone doesn't sign the papers, like she's pretty much saying like people walk away from their marriages all the time even though they haven't signed the papers yet. And then Heather gets up and pretty much daps her off and whatnot. And it's that still doesn't make sense. Because here's the reality. Cause I'm not going to spill all this person tea. But someone that I know married, separated from their husband for years. That husband had a stroke or whatnot. Guess what? That person walked away. Legally, you still married. So guess what? Guess who was at the doctor visits? Guess who was taking care of this person amongst other things? That wife, even though she walked away, but legally still married. So just because, and it's a lot of people that walk away from a marriage, but you ain't signed no papers. Y'all just separated indefinitely. But if something were to happen, guess who has to sit here and, pick up the pieces? The person that's still married. So that sound good, but get up, get out of here. Get out of here. Let's see. Am I missing anything? Right. So the whole event is over. Whitney's in her confessional and says Heather has admitted to 1, she knows who gave her the black eye. 2, she never liked Lisa Barlow. And 3, she never left the church. The masks are off and we will get down to the bottom. And again, this is the whole thing of, so what motives do you really have in being here? And it seems like that Whitney might be using this to prop her up for season 4 of Salt Lake City. Mary coming back, I might give it a watch. I ain't reviewing it though. Maybe the reunion. But that's it. That's all that I have. I gave y'all lies. I mean, it was alright, but I was able to give y'all almost 30 minutes, so I guess it was good. But whatever. So y'all let me know how y'all felt about it. Yeah, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share, and I will see y'all for the next video. Peace out.